The downing of the Ukraine Airlines flight this week has ripped apart dozens of families in Canada from Vancouver to Halifax. Mike Drolet has more tonight on what we know about the Canadian lives lost and how they're being remembered.
It's hard to find a focus in this procession of pictures. They were the smiling hope of Canada's large Iranian expat community. But this story isn't about the individual photos. It's about family. Nowhere is that more real than Edmonton, home to 30 of the victims, many of whom were studying at the University of Alberta. Arash Pourzarabi and Pune Gorgi were academic stars who found in each other soulmates. Newly married, they were returning to Canada with 4 friends from their wedding party.
You know, they were all our close friends. It's so sad. I want peace for the world. That's it.
So soon after the crash, peace for the family of Negar Borgai will be hard to find. How does one reconcile the loss of the McGill-educated nutritionist, her pianist husband Alvand, as well as his sisters Sahand and niece Sophia? It fell on Borgai's brother Hamid Reza to tell their mother.
There's no more hope. There's no hope. She knew, she could feel it. And ever since then, she's been screaming and crying.
They were, and still are, lost.
We went to the crash site, and there was nothing. There was absolutely nothing left. So I don't know. We don't know anything. Nobody told us anything.
What can anyone say? At a vigil in North Vancouver, the loyal friends and customers of Amir's bakery were struggling. Amir Pasavan stayed behind to run the business while his wife and daughter visited family.
What do you want about them? A lot of is good about them.
In truth, a lot was good about so many. This married couple was working towards getting recertified as doctors in Canada. Kimia Pourzarabi idolized her parents for what they gave up to come here.
The appreciation they had for me and my talents, it was a real driving force in the way I view myself. I want to put my parents' name in good and do greater good for the world.
If anything comes from this tragedy, it's sentiments like that. Mike Drolet, Global News, Toronto.
The plane that went down in Iran was full of people of all ages and all kinds of potential. There were doctors, scientists, architects, artists, professors, and students on board, plus many children. At least 21 Canadian universities confirm they lost a member of their community. Tonight, Ross Lord has some of their stories.
Throughout Canada, university campuses are in mourning, lowering their flags to honor students and faculty who died in the plane crash near Tehran. The tragedy's impact goes beyond Iranian communities.
It's a kind of disaster for the country, Canada as well, because Canada has lost a huge potential of the people.
Including Ali Nefari's friend, Masuma Gavi. She was a PhD student at Dalhousie University. Gavi worked part-time for Nefari's Nova Scotia IT company and spoke of starting her own business in Canada after graduating.
She was full of energy, a lot. And she changed the atmosphere. I cannot forget her smile.
Nefari's business partner, Ali Hamidi, says Gavi was bringing her younger sister, Maria, to Halifax to attend Dalhousie Medical School. Hamidi was planning to pick up the 2 women after they arrived in Halifax. He texted with Gavi as she boarded the plane.
She just told me I'm going to be here 1:30 p.m. on Friday. And I said, okay, send me your ticket number, your flight number, I can get you. And she didn't reply. She told me I'm going to send it later, but that later never came.
That so many passengers were students is not surprising when you consider there are 11,000 students from Iran studying at universities across Canada. They account for roughly 2% of the international student population. At Western University, there were 4 victims, including Hadis Hayat Davodi, known to students for her soft voice and for her kindness.
I still can't take it in, I just can't believe that it was actually her.
At BC's University of Victoria, first-year student Roja Omigbaksh was studying commerce and learning about Canadian business culture. Many other victims were students and faculty in the Edmonton area, but similar stories span the country. Grieving will take many forms in coming days, from large vigils to smaller gestures like this to mark their absence. Ross Lord, Global News, Bedford, Nova Scotia.